It is the Friday HR Happy Hour work break. I'm Steve, George LaRock with me again. George, how are you, buddy?
It's Friday. You said it is Friday. That's automatically good right there.
Finishing up your triumphant week, guest hosting the work break. It's been really fun. We were just talking prior to going live how much fun we've had, and we have had fun. It's been awesome. George, I got a couple things. Friday's always my kind of notebook dump day on this show for stuff I need to do during the week. So I'm going to rattle off a couple. Here's the first one, right? Doing a little reading this morning, going through my feed reader. Yes, I still use the feed reader. Trying to get nuggets of interest for the show. Yep. Clickbait article lured me right in. Title is 6 Ways to Attract Talent When Payroll is Tight. That's the headline. That's the article. Okay. I'll dig into that. I might have something there. Of course, clickbait. I clicked it. Here's number one, George. I'm not going to go through all 6. We're only going to talk about the first one. The number one thing to do, according to this article, to attract talent when payroll is tight, number one, offer unpaid days off. I thought to myself, hey, we really love you to come work for us, but don't work on Fridays and we won't pay you if that's cool. So here, George, hereby I offer you the rest of today off without pay. Take it. Do whatever you like. I will not be paying you.
That's like an unbenefit or an unperk? Like
unbelievable. I could not believe how awful that was. And then after that, I couldn't take the rest. The next ones were a little bit more, enhance your benefits, offer better career development. The rest of it was okay, but I can't think of a really tight labor market. And we've talked about this some this week, like in a really tight labor market where folks, have options and honestly, many employers are having a hard time filling jobs, unpaid days off. I don't know. So we'll see if that works for anybody.
Yeah. Well, not everyone is has as much experience with these matters as your audience or you might. So I hope nobody falls for that and tries that one out. That won't go too well.
Yeah. In fact, one of the problems that, or the oddities of the U.S. labor market certainly is the fact that at least legislatively, like there's very few mandated paid vacations, right? I don't think there may not be any, right? Like I don't think the federal government mandates you offer paid vacation at all. I think it's an individual organization choice, and that's odd compared to most other kind of developed economies, right? Certainly in Europe and other places. But I had one more nugget, George, that I want to get to because we did talk about labor market stuff this week. I love the labor market deal. The whole issue of are people sitting out of the labor market because unemployment insurance, unemployment benefits are too high, right? We've had enhanced unemployment benefits for quite a while. Well, the Federal Reserve Bank out of San Francisco has just published a working paper. Again, it's one research study, it's one working paper, but it basically said that the $600 a week benefit and then the $300 a week benefit that's about running out, and many states are ending it early. They said most job seekers in their study, they were 7 out of 28. So about 25% of people actually got a job offer in any given month. And they said only 1 of those 7 declined the job offer due to enhanced unemployment benefits. So 25% of people got an offer, 1 in 7, that's 14%, 14% of 25%. I don't know, that's like 3%. It's really small. Right. I don't know, it's interesting to see how it's going to play out because unemployment benefits are running out in a lot of states. They're ending them early. The federal unemployment benefits are running out in September. I guess time will tell, but I thought that was pretty interesting. I wanted to throw that out there. It's if you just Google Federal Reserve Bank, San Francisco working paper, I'm sure you could find it. Although, George, I will say, you're a smart guy. I'm not so smart. 2/3 of this paper was like crazy statistical formulas and Greek symbols and things to the power of things. I'm a little out of touch with that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that goes over my head.
But it made you believe it even more, right? It's credible. It's like just throw some algorithms in there and say algorithm, and credibility is immediate.
George, we have a viewer who wants to say hello.
Oh,
I will bring her up. Look at that.
Oh, that's great. Hey, Trish.
George sitting in the Trish chair.
Man, I can't fill these shoes.
he may not be giving it up, but Trish, hope your vacation is going great. She also needs a paid vacation, apparently.
Yeah.
You have to call corporate on that. Actually, you're in charge of corporate, Trish. You can decide on that policy. You don't really need us to do that. We miss you too. We'll see you next week. So awesome. All right.
Yeah.
George, other big news for me. I hate to be dominating the conversation, but I have one more item, and then I'm going to have you tell me what you're doing this weekend. Here it is. The NBA, my favorite sport, National Basketball Association, Summer League, which I have attended along with several members of our sort of HR crew, better known as the 8-man rotation: Chris Dunn, Tim Sackett, Lance Hahn, Dr. Matt Stolick, aka Bruno.
Yes.
We have attended the NBA Summer League on many occasions over the years. It was canceled last year due to the pandemic, right? Makes sense. It is back this year, August 8th through 17th, back in Las Vegas. I think I might have to get out to this. I have not talked to the other members of the 8-man crew, so we will have to see. I think I'm ready to get back to Vegas. I think Vegas, I'm not sure Vegas is ready for me, but I'm ready to go back.
I'm a little nervous that you're so ready for Vegas, but it's opening up, right? I guess everything's opening up, and I keep hearing about Vegas. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll have some guidelines to follow and whatnot.
Yeah. So what's on the agenda for George? Big weekend? What's happening?
Well, so this weekend I'm going to finish a project I started last weekend, which is restaining the deck.
Oh,
so yeah. The hard part was if you've ever done anything like that before, and I don't know what this is the one I'll outsource anything. I don't know why I don't outsource this one.
Yeah, seems
because
like one. Yeah, you could usually find someone else to handle that.
Yeah. But it's the hard part is the prepping, is preparing, getting all the old stuff off, and all that. But I don't know. I find it cathartic to go do that, and so this weekend it'll look almost brand new.
Nice. I do enjoy a fair bit of manual labor myself, and I get precious little opportunity just due to some lifestyle choices I've made, which are debatable. But I don't mind getting out there and do it. I think my problem was I had a 10-year run of a ridiculous amount of chores and yard work and groundskeeping at the place I was living. It had 10 or 11 acres. There was a horse involved and a barn and fencing and a lot of cutting down of trees. And it's almost like a soldier of PTSD. I've never really recovered from that. It almost killed me. It maybe part of me it did kill, but I've not done a ton of that stuff lately. I did do something interesting though for the first time, George, and I think it's for the first time in about a year.
Okay.
So stupid. I actually shaved with an actual razor.
Oh,
for the first time.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I usually just do the clipper deal and leave the little Miami Vice kind of deal. But I had a webinar I was doing. I mentioned it on the show Wednesday. I had a webinar I did yesterday with our friends at Paychex. I thought perhaps the webinar might be a video webinar, so I needed to kind of clean up. And it turns out it wasn't. It was just audio. But first time, I had to look around for one of these, by the way. I had to go into an old travel kit from, a year ago travel trip somewhere and dig it out of. I didn't even have it. And I had the only shaving cream I had was the tiny one,
the travel. Yeah. How was the blade? Was it a new blade at least?
Oh, it was awful. I tell you what, I drew blood a couple of occasions. Not bad. Not enough to call the authorities, but I don't know. So I'm very.
Well, you look good. You look good.
Thank you. As good as it gets, sadly. But well, George, I'm excited for the weekend. In fact, don't tell anybody who is waiting for me to get back to him, George. Right after we finish this show, I'm out. I'm off the rest of the day. I'm taking off.
All right. Good for you. I wish I could do the same. And it's just between us. I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. I'm sure half the people listening I owe an email to. I'll promise I'll get to it soon. So, George, thank you so much for this week.
Anytime.
We'll get you back in here on rotation. HR Happy Hour Podcast Network. George is the host of HR Market Watch, which you can find there. HR Wins, all the good stuff. Anything you want to know about what's happening in the HR tech industry, who's getting funding, who's growing, what startups are doing cool things, George is your guy. So thanks so much again. Enjoy that staying in the deck.
Thank you.
That's a little Karate Kid kind of thing too, right? You could do out there,
Yeah.
right? Paid defense.
Totally. Yep.
All right.
I've had that thought. Yep.
You're going to be ready to kick some butt on Monday.
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening this week. Catch all the show archives at there, hrhappyhour.net. We will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.